What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown, and I've been busy as hell recently. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It just hit 4,000 subscribers, means the world to me as well to Eric. Just a ton of support from you guys, and honestly, that means so much. But with that being said, I just started a new job. I'm busy. Law school starting back up again. I got a lot of stuff going on. So the other day I put out a community post just saying thank you to everybody for all the support, and I was asking for some ideas. And in fact, if there are any ideas that you would like me to do as a film breakdown, go ahead and throw them at the bottom of this video in the comment section. I'd be happy to check them out. Now, Papa Beanos 21, hopefully I'm saying that right, gave the idea of how can James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster bounce back from their year last year, and I actually thought that was a really good idea. So first and foremost, shout out to you, Papa. Appreciate you. Great idea. Now, with that being said, let's dive on in here. I'm going to try and keep this within, a decently short video, but we are breaking down two people, and I'm kind of giving my thoughts and opinions on both of them, so hopefully this won't take forever. Now, with that being said, I would love the support to keep up, and if you could subscribe to my channel, The Hook Cam, that would just mean the world to me, as well as the Jackson Kruger Sports. I'm sure that this will end up on his channel as well. If you could just show us some love, hit that subscribe button, that would just mean the world to both of us. Now, diving in to James Conner, comes out last year out of nowhere, surprises the hell out of everybody. Le'Veon Bell's holding out, or excuse me, 2 years ago, Le'Veon Bell holds out. How are the Steelers going to recover? No problem. James Conner says, I got you. Not a big deal. And with this first play right here, this is power, and I think that this is something super standard that I love to see backs run and do it well with. And a lot of it is being able to be patient, keep it in the A-gap, and work from there. Now, on this play, when we watch it from the end zone, we'll see the fullback kick out, the tight end work down, boom, boom, right? We're working here, we're kicking out, right? We're working upfield with this guard on this pole. And the biggest thing I look for with backs is keeping this thing tight, right? Keep that thing tight, follow those double teams, follow your guard, and then break that thing and get upfield for a big gain. Great job from James Conner early on. And really, the question that Papa Beanos asked was, how can he return to what was happening last year? What happened to that? And James Conner really does a phenomenal job of both running and receiving the football. And I really think that as last year went along, and as we saw with some of this film, what the Steelers were doing is they were putting him in a situation where he had options as a back, really the same way that they would deal with Le'Veon Bell, right? We're going to let you decide where to go on this. And this is actually a really cool play drawn up. I think that this is really cool. So basically what he does, it's almost like a delay, and they're going to take inside zone steps everywhere. Working up here, working here. I believe these two are comboing up to there. We're working right here with 81. It's basically a delay, right? We're going to stay pat with 66 and then work up to this backer. This defensive end works inside, so we'll take him and work him inside. Gives James Conner options. Same thing that they do with Le'Veon Bell. And I think that that's really where James Conner excelled, was when he had options and when he could really manipulate backers. This is just a really simple split zone from the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And we split this thing right down the middle. We're going to give this backer a lane to come up and make a play in. However, we have someone there to block him. James Conner does a great job of bouncing this thing, coming up field, and then bouncing this thing to an outside gap. And that's really the key to running inside zone, especially in today's NFL. Press that thing A-gap, then you can bounce and make your decisions from there, right? As long as you're pressing to the heels of the offensive line, that's where we're really going to start gaining yardage, because they don't have anybody there. Now, in this situation, again, something I think the Steelers did really well 2 years ago with James Conner that they didn't do as well last year, and we'll get into some of the film from last year, is I think that they manipulated the box really well. So in this situation, we got a 2x2 set from the Steelers. Obviously, we've got 10 personnel from them. And again, the Chargers are giving us kind of a nickel look here. Now, a cool play, they're going to down block with their guard, pull with their center up here, and then work with their backside guard up to 31. Mismatched in size for sure, and then James Conner's able to pop that thing off for a really nice gain. So I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers last year did a really good job, 2 years ago, did a really good job of manipulating the box and trying to empty out that box and give a much more favorable matchup for James Conner. Now, this year they tried to do that as well. However, the threat of Big Ben wasn't there this year, right? So here's an inside zone look from James Conner against the Ravens. And once again, give him options. It's what I think that he does so well with. Give him the keys, let him go. So he comes upfield, he presses this thing to the heels of the offensive line. He sees this gap in the back right here, and he's going to pop this thing backside. Now, yeah, he probably could have kept it a gap right there. I don't think there would have been any problem with that. However, you understand how when you give a guy like this options, he's going to go with it, cuts upfield. I believe that was a 7 or 8 yard gain. Really, really good job from him. Once again, giving the guy options. And that's why I think that they kind of got away from their power and counter running game. The Steelers still do run a ton of long trap and counter. However, I think that James Conner is best served when he's given the option. He's given the ability to cut this thing back, bounce it to the play side, something like this, wide zone. Let this guy go run. Let him use his nose a little bit. Let him get upfield. Now, here's a little bit of what they did last year and why I think it kind of handcuffed them. I think that it became very, very obvious when the Steelers were going to run the rock. So we look at this game against the Seahawks in week 2, and pretty clear here, we're going to pound the football. Right? We've got our 6 offensive linemen in. We got 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 back, and they run long trap, which all long trap means is that I believe they pull their guard or their tackle actually, and they're going to trap the end man on the line of scrimmage, give him a little misdirection in the backfield, and then we're upfield trying to crease this thing right in between where the kick out was and where that down block was supposed to be. Now, Jadeveon Clowney's a freak, and he's able to get off on that and make a play, but it just really seemed to me when watching the film last year very, very painfully obvious when they were going to run the rock. Right, and I think that when you do stuff like that, it really handcuffs your running back. And this was a formation that the Steelers went in and went to very, very frequently near the end of last year. Right, they went into this bunch look, and I understand why they do it. It's a popular formation. However, it just became kind of obvious when they were going to run the rock. Right, when they went into that, it was really only a couple things they were going to do. It was really only their inside zone and a long trap that they were going to try and run. Right, inside zone after inside zone. And then on top of that, another reason why James Conner just wasn't as effective is his health. He just wasn't as healthy last year. And it's tough to go and be a running back in the NFL and take the beating week in and week out and still expect to perform well. For James Conner to really return to what he was 2 years ago, I think that the best thing for the Steelers would really be to try and manipulate the box. Try to match up better with your personnel, right? Give them looks like this right here where we've got 4 receivers on the field. You're going 10 personnel. Try and get them into their dime and nickel packages and run against that instead of, lining up in 12 and 13 personnel and trying to run long trap and inside zone. And I think that they do have the guys to do it. That's really the first thing I think for the Steelers and for James Conner to get back is to try and match up better personnel-wise against that box. The second thing is just he's got to stay healthy, which is really tough to do for a running back week in and week out from the NFL. Another thing is just I would really rely on my inside zone. I really would. I would run inside zone with a wham. I would run split zone. I would give James Conner as many options as possible to go and make yardage and to gain yardage on a play like this. And this, I think, is a great example. We've really already broken this play down. But again, just his ability to press the heels of the line of scrimmage, get upfield and really, eat up yardage once he can get linebackers to commit, I think is really special. And receiving the ball, I think that he does a great job of getting into a check down lane, being there, being a great safety outlet for a quarterback. He does everything you could ask for him in that sense. Now moving on to Juju Smith-Schuster, somebody who again broke out. I think he had over 100 catches in his rookie year, something that's really unheard of. And to really understand why I think a player can return to being good, I think we have to understand what made them really good to begin with. Now, going into last year, a lot of people were talking about Juju's going to ball out this year. He's going to absolutely tear things up. And he's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. I think he's very, very talented. That being said, having Antonio Brown on the same field as Juju Smith-Schuster changes everything. Because Antonio Brown was at this point a proven vet. He was a dude who was a top 5, top 3 receiver in the league. That meant that safeties and corners, we have to account for him. This is abnormal for a safety to work to the boundary side of the field like this. This isn't something that happens all the time. He's doing this because of Antonio Brown. Because of the matchup problem that this causes, we're going to have a safety over the top at all times because we don't want to get burned. So what happens when you dedicate 2 guys to Antonio Brown's side of the field is that we're going to now get a favorable matchup for Juju, which we work right here. He works that little zag route, right? That little in, he's going to juke that thing back out. Boom, we're upfield for a big gain. Now this happened game in and game out in Juju's rookie year. And really when you combine Juju with Antonio Brown, it puts safeties and corners in a pickle. This is another great example. As a safety and as a defensive coordinator, where are you going to design your coverage? Who are you going to bracket, Juju or Antonio Brown? Well, we know Antonio Brown is going to torch us because he's been in the league for a number of years. This rookie, we're going to try and beat him one-on-one, which is exactly what happens here. We've got our safety working over the top. We're going to bracket AB in this situation. Juju does a great job working this thing, just stemming it outside a little bit and then breaking this thing back right over the top of this safety. Decent ball from Big Ben. But those are the things that happened in Juju's rookie year because defenses really couldn't afford to bracket. You can't bracket both guys. You're going to give something else up. Now, when you look at his catch and run ability, obviously it's next level, and that's not really something that I'm going to hit on a ton in this because, like I said, there's no denying that Juju's a phenomenal athlete. He's really good. However, the coverage that he was getting his rookie year as opposed to his sophomore, his last year, right, were two different things. And this is, I think, the best example. This is a 98-yard touchdown from Juju, okay? Look at where the safety is. We're going to try and bracket AB. We're going to as a defensive coordinator, which means that you're going to get one-on-one with Juju, right? Big Ben just lofts one out there. That safety, there's no way that safety is going to get there. And once again, yards after the catch ability. I think he's one of the best in the league. So really, how can we help Juju? What's the best way to work Juju Smith-Schuster into more space? What happened last year, and how can he get back to what he was? And we just kind of look at the coverage from last year, right? Again, we're working, I think this was more like a read 2 coverage where they're going to read what the number 2 does. He goes to the flat, so the corner works with him, and then we're going to work to kind of bracket that side of where Juju is. Really just kind of, you're just trying to sink to get in front of wherever his running lane's going to be. It wasn't like Mason Rudolph wasn't looking for Juju. It was more the fact that the coverage was there. And when the coverage wasn't there, bad quarterback play, I think, was a monster effect on Juju Smith-Schuster. Balls were too far. They were too far outside. He couldn't make a play on it. Here's a really good example. This is the 3rd down and short, and I love this play call. This is awesome. A quick play fake from Mason Rudolph here. Juju's going to come up and work across the field. This is dialed up perfectly. Great play call, right? Ton of space. You give a little pick right here. We got space to work with. Catch and run, baby. But where's this ball? In the dirt. So I think that in order for Juju to get back, I think Big Ben being back in the backfield is going to have a monster effect on that. And again, the coverage was there, but I think that they could really scheme Juju into more openings. That's possible. You can work out a bunch. You can create that traffic. Run your mesh routes, right? Plays where it's all about really catch and run ability. And here we go right here. There's another good example of just bad quarterback play. We got one-on-one at the top. I believe we have Duck Hodges in playing quarterback. And this ball is severely underthrown. There's space there for Juju to run and make a play on that football, but he can't because that ball doesn't get there. So really for Juju, I don't think that it's so much what he can do to be better. I think that it's the better quarterback play is obviously going to help him out a ton. And I think the Steelers did a phenomenal job in weeks before. We look at this first game against the Chiefs from last year when they did have AB. But again, look at the confidence that we have in our quarterback in this situation, right? We got 11 personnel here, 3 wide, and really we're just trying to find our matchups. And to me, I just think maybe Mason Rudolph just failed in this situation. Personally, I don't know, but it just seemed like quarterback play was a major effect of why Juju couldn't get it done. And there's nothing crazy with this route. We're just working it back out to the sideline, catch a run, we're good to go. So I think that quarterback play is going to have a major effect on Juju's numbers, and I think that he's going to return with the better quarterback play. I just think that that's how it's going to be. Now, it's still going to be tough because of the coverage, but if you can help scheme that guy open, right? Give a lot of bunch sets, create that traffic, right? Get him into situations where, hey, it's 3rd and long. We know they're going to go into cover 4, read 2, or cover 6 on 3rd down. I think stuff like that's going to happen, and it'll help out, and Juju will definitely return to being one of the better receivers in the NFL. So with all that being said, guys, I'm the Hook Cam. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was everything you could have ever desired for a Steelers video, kind of venturing into new territory there. So if you did enjoy, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that would mean the world to me as well as to Jackson Krieger Sports. That's all I got for you guys today. Steelers fans, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and share that thing, man. I would really appreciate getting my name out there to some more Steelers fans. I did enjoy doing this video a lot, so let's hope that we can get some more coming down the pipe. But with all that being said, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'm the Hook Cam, and I will see you next time.